Good morning, friends, and welcome to the new edition of Better Thyself. Confidence is the hallmark, and everybody wants to appear confident. But then there are two sorts of confidences. It can be in the shape of arrogance, as in case of Floyd Mayweather. It can be quite selfish assurance, as in Jane Goodall. True confidence is something which makes you clear about your perceptions and makes you take a decision instinctively, and that decision is something that is envied by. False confidence is often assumed by the people who use it as a mask to cover their sense of insecurity, and that becomes arrogance. But one thing is sure, that the people who are confident have an upper hand, and they are the people who inspire others. They are the people who make things happen, and they have upper hand in things which are skittish and doubtful, while the people who have false confidence or no confidence stutter, hum and haws. The confident people just say and do what they think is proper. So you want to be confident. It's not so difficult. And the best way of learning how to be confident is to know how the confident people behave and perform differently. And when you see how they behave differently, and when you see how they perform differently, you would try to emulate them, try to copy them, because copying is the best form of flattery and learning. Children learn by copying their parents, their teachers, their friends. The birds always learn by copying. So just understand how those people behave, and today we are going to talk about how these really confident people perform differently. And I have been doing diggings, and looking at myself and other people, I have found about some habits which are second nature to the confident people. And the confident people, let me tell you, they think they can or they think they cannot, they are right. So the first thing about the confident people is that they get their happiness not from outside, but from within. Happiness is an essential ingredient of confidence. But in order to be confident to what to do, you have to be happy with who you are. And the people who bring with confidence drive the sense of pleasure and happiness, drive the sense of satisfaction from their own accomplishment, and not what the others think about their accomplishments. It's a self-realization that they have done something that makes them confident. It's immaterial what others say, whether the others criticize or the others praise. That has no significance. At the most, that has a very transient, very temporary impact. So that's the first thing. Satisfaction with yourself, finding happiness within yourself. The second important thing, how they do is, they don't pass judgments. Judgments in the people. The people are good or bad. That's their concern. People have something to offer, fine. And you do not have to take other people down to go up higher. You see, that's the biggest thing. They say, increase the length of another line by two ways. One is by cutting that line and rubbing it off, and second by drawing a longer line. The really confident people are not believers in cutting down others, in condemning others, in criticizing others. They are only concerned with increasing their own accomplishments, their own capabilities. When you try to downsize people, other people, you're wasting your time. And that thirdly, they don't say yes unless they really want to. It's most difficult thing to say no. And the more likely you are to experience stress, burnout, and even depression. And that happens when you say yes, when you wanted to say no. It's commonly that the people say maybe when they say no. And they say maybe. But they never say no. When it's a time to say no, confident people don't use the phrase, I'll think, I don't think I can, but I'll try. I'm not certain, but hopefully I'll be able to help you. We have to say no with confidence, because by saying no to a new commitment, we give an opportunity to fulfill that commitment. Then, when they speak, they also listen. Now, there are two things. Hearing is one thing, listening is another. When you listen, you are indirectly going through a deep perception what those people are thinking. By listening with attention, you know what the other person is likely to say. And many times it has happened that when others are still saying something, because we have listened to the first few words, we know what they really mean. And many times it has happened with me. Before the other person finishes a question, I respond. And they are amazed. They say, how do you know it's in our mind? They forget that I was not only talking to them, I was not only hearing them, I was listening to them. So listen when you want to listen, but at the same time, you should learn when to become deaf. Do not listen to the complaints. Do not listen to the stupidities. Do not listen to the cribbing. That all is self-defeating and wasteful use of your time. And then, one very important thing that you will notice what people with confidence do. You will rarely say something which they don't respond in a very positive manner. And none of their speech is interlaced with the words like, ha, I'm not sure, I think. You know, I've seen some political leaders humming and ha's. And that is because they are not sure of themselves. They are not confident. They pose charisma, they pose charm. But they're the most, pliable people. They are taken away by their passions and the feelings and the other people's thoughts. They are not confident. Confident people speak assertively because they know it's difficult to get people to listen to you if you cannot deliver your ideas with conviction. So, let me recapitulate till now what I have said. They do not pass judgment. They are happy within themselves. They do not say no when they want to say yes, and they do not say yes when they want to say no. They listen and not only hear. They speak with certainty, with confidence. And then, you'll be amazed that they seek out small victories. Confident people like a challenge to themselves. They don't compete with others. They don't have to. Others are not worth competing with. Compete with yourself. What you were yesterday, be better than that today. Add to your accomplishment, add to your capabilities. That is a credo of the real confident man. And you remember, I told you, There's a difference between the real confident and the fake confident. Fake confident is a hypocrite. So, the real confident people seek very small victories. You know why? The small victories build in new androgen receptors in the brain. And that androgen receptor is responsible for reward for the past and motivation for the future actions. The increase in the androgen receptors increases the influence of testosterone, which further increases the knowledge and eagerness to take fresh and more challenges. A series of small victories, they boost your confidence, which can last forever and forever. It's very difficult to have big victories, but the small victories, when they accumulate, become a major victory. And that is what makes a person confident. And then they are not indolent, they're active. They may exercise, but they not exercise, but they are agile and they are active. Their brains function in a manner that the body has to respond to them even when they are not well. And you would see that the people who are really confident, they might be suffering, but when a group of friends comes to them, they do not let their suffering prevail on their thoughts. Rather, they break the bonds of the suffering, even if it is killing, and then come out, and their brain takes over the body functions. And that when the brain takes over the body functions, the others think, well, this is a guy who has no issues, no problems. And the really confident people don't want to show their problems to the world. It's their private misery, their private pain. They don't crib, they don't cry, they don't complain. And then, many times, they know that they are much more effective. They don't have to try to be important. They are important. People catch on to your attitude. And when you have a right attitude, they know who you are. Confident people always seem to bring the right attitude. And that is what makes them what they are. They're the masters of getting attention diffusion. You know, there's another thing. When, for example, just imagine the Prime Minister is standing in a room and everybody is congregating to that. But a really confident person strides into that room. The crowd would still be around the Prime Minister, but the attention would be diffused. At least 50% people would be thinking, well, here is this guy come in. Wow, that's great. So they are not attention seekers. They are attention diffusers. And the capacity to be able to diffuse attention is a hallmark of a confident man. Then another thing, they are not afraid to be wrong. They like putting their opinions out because they know that even if they are wrong, it's immaterial. The confident people know what they are capable of. And when the people think that they are wrong, they don't bother. Right or wrong is a matter of perception. What is wrong for you can be right for me. And the confident people realize it, and they are not afraid of saying what ordinary people consider to be wrong. That is important. So, then they celebrate other people. If somebody is great, they don't mind saying he is good. Praising other people is in reality a hallmark of confidence in yourself. The people who are not confident always try to find faults. The people who are confident find faults as well as find the points which are praiseworthy. Very few people would praise other people behind their backs, but the really confident and honest people will do so. And then, the really confident people know that this road of confidence was not a journey, not a destination, but was a journey. And the journey continues. And what I have talked, these are the cornerstones of being confident. Now, you are aware how the confident people act and react. You are aware that they believe in the concept of what Vivekananda said, Ma Bhoy, be unafraid. Be unafraid to speak out. They are not afraid of saying no. They are not for popularity gathering. They are for image diffusion. So these characteristics which are marked out are the hallmark of confident people, really authentic confident people. Are you one of them? If you are, you will appreciate it. And if you are not, try to be one. You might one day become confident. You might one day have confidence in yourself and as such impact others. Thank you.